Welcome back to Cityline. With me, I have somebody who is brand new to her position, but not brand new to the organization. I'm talking about the one, the only, Alex Ropes. She is the new Director of Community Services for the Humane Society for Tacoma, Pierce County. Welcome back, Alex.
Thank you, Amanda. I'm super excited to be here and back at the shelter.
Well, as we were saying before we went live, in my opinion, and you agreed, there is not a better place to be than the Humane Society for Tacoma, Pierce County. You are new to this role, Alex, but not new to the organization. What brought you back to the Humane Society?
Well, I was with the shelter for 6 years, 2 years as a volunteer even before that. So I spent so much time here and really grew up here as a professional that I decided to step out of my comfort zone and work in social services for a few years. And I just realized how much I really missed the culture and community within animal welfare, and specifically how much I missed my home at the Humane Society. And so I just decided that I was going to come back however I could. And I'm just so excited to be what feels like home.
So as an executive director in my former life, when I hear a story like yours, I think this person could do anything. How can I get them back in to even just volunteer? But why this role, Alex? What made you decide you wanted to interview for this role?
You know, I have such a huge love for animals. I always have my entire life, but it wasn't until I was in the role of volunteer manager here for a good 4 years of my time at the shelter that I developed an even bigger love and passion for helping people. So then when this opportunity came up where I was able to merge two of my biggest passions, which is people and animals, and my skill sets, I just couldn't say no.
Well, we are very grateful you did not say no. So with all that you bring to this position, what outreach projects are you currently working on?
So I'm really excited to announce that we are launching this month a Humane Education Program with partnerships built with Tacoma Public Middle Schools and Boys and Girls Club of South Puget Sound to offer after-school programming for children focused on humane education.
So why did you decide to launch this program? Was there a need in the community that came up and you wanted to meet?
You know, I think for so many years, the Humane Society has had different reputations. I mean, we're still known as the Pounds sometimes. And I think this opportunity to connect with the next generation is something that we wanted to jump headfirst into to create this sense of understanding and care for animals in their own homes, in children's homes, and in the community.
So Alex, walk me through kind of an overview of what these students will experience.
So essentially, we're going to start off one of the 6-week, with Tacoma Public Schools, we have a 6-week sessions. We're offering them twice a week, so there's lots of opportunity depending on the students' availability to attend. And what we'll be focusing on in the beginning is, brief history and overview of the Humane Society, while making it fun and not too lecture-y. I really want to have tons of activities, and I want kids to feel like they're really interacting because it is virtual. It's over a screen. So trying to build a connection as best we can with information like pet care for dog, cats, and rabbits, and animal behavior, and just really things that most people don't know about animals and will be so beneficial for these children when they decide to add furry family members to their family.
You know, my connection with the Humane Society is very deep and full of a lot of love. And I am constantly looking at your website, looking at the pets of the week, looking at the pets that are up for adoption who are looking for their forever home. And one of the golden nuggets that I've gleaned from your information is that during this pandemic, pet adoptions have gone through the roof. So what more than a perfect time than to educate young people about taking care of pets? Because we all hear the old saying when you turn to a family and say, "When are you going to get a dog? When are you going to get a cat? When are you going to get a gerbil? Or when are you going to get a rabbit or a fish?" And many times the parents say, "When my child is old enough to take care of it," which that really translates to, "I'm too busy as a parent to do all the work." So it sounds like your program is going to answer some of those questions. Is that correct?
Absolutely. We want to help children understand responsible pet ownership, basic care, and really just how they can be the best pet owners they possibly can, and also how to choose the right pet for their lifestyle, or understand if that sometimes your lifestyle does need to modify depending on the animal you do bring into your home. So kind of understanding those choices and the responsibility that goes along with that, because you're so right that so many pets tend to be brought up by children.
Absolutely. And it takes the whole family. And especially when we're sheltering in place, and it gets down to who is going to walk the dog, who's going to change the cat box. Those are all things that we need to take into account when we look at adopting a new member of our family. So, speaking of that, there must have been some challenges, Alex, with getting this project off the ground during COVID-19.
Absolutely. One of the biggest challenges has been that with COVID-19, the amount of screen time that children are absorbing has been increased dramatically. Teachers and caregivers are overwhelmed. And what we want to do with this approach is really be a place of fun and enjoyment for kids. And then they're learning as a side effect of that, because it is so hard to continue to be on these screens with any lack of real, true connection. So just working with teachers and caregivers, as to understand the challenges of adding yet one more screen time activity. But we're hopeful that this can be a reprieve for some of those individuals, and just a place to kind of forget that we're on screen and really just think about the furry people and the furry creatures in our life, and how we can better care for them, love them, and support them.
I'm imagining that first virtual after school experience with all of these amazing young people holding up their pets.
Oh, that's definitely going to happen. Yes.
Holding up their pets, and also their name and what their name means, and what or how many names your pet has.
Absolutely. Yeah. Show and tell will be a big part of this, because people love their animals and they want to talk about them, especially children.
And Alex, I don't know if you know this or not, but I feel like you are also uh, uh, lighting the match for those flames of those young veterinarians that are wanting to take care of more than just their furry family member. You are opening up a whole new world for them.
And we need more veterinarians and veterinary technicians. It is a field where we do see a great need of more people in it. So if we can help encourage the next generation to take that as their career path, I think that would be a phenomenal side effect of this work.
Oh, I agree. Another part of your work, Alex, involves helping pet owners keep their furry families together. How does that program work?
So we have a pet support team as part of our community services department that really focuses on helping pet owners keep the pets in their home, or surrender them as a last resort, because we know that no matter how wonderful and comforting you can make a shelter environment for pets, it really is no replacement for a loving home. So if we can try to encourage pet owners to rehome on their own, because they know their pets best, much better than we would. And so if we can encourage them, give them the tools and the resources and support, And most importantly, just be someone to talk to, be a resource, and be someone that they can bounce their ideas off of, or just have someone else who understands, listen to the maybe challenging behaviors or logistics of having the pet in their home, and ways that we can help them either keep their pet or find the best possible home for them that doesn't involve necessarily coming to the shelter.
Because there are so many reasons, especially now with COVID-19, that pets could be considered for rehoming. If somebody
Mhm.
is ill, if somebody has lost their housing or has lost their income. So it's so wonderful that you step in and you partner with them to help them ease that pain, because that's a very painful situation to be in. Nobody makes light of when you have to rehome a four-legged child.
And for years, we have offered programs like the Pet Food Pantry, where we will help provide pet food for pet owners in need. We provide spay neuter resources so that there aren't unwanted litters that families are then trying to find homes for. And really just continuing to be that resource so that people who fall on hard times don't have to say goodbye to a family member that they love. We really want, especially during this time when so many people are in financial situations that they didn't expect they would be in a year ago, that to have to say goodbye to a family member after going through this, pandemic, where a lot of times those pets are the things that get us through things like this. And we don't want to separate families. We want to do everything that we can to keep them together.
Oh, I love that. Alex, in these next few minutes here, I want to ask you what else is happening at the shelter.
Well, we have a very fun activity at the shelter that is helping to support pets here in the shelter environment. But Send a Valentine to a Shelter Pet, which is running through February 14th. Individuals can send a Valentine to one of our pets here at the shelter, and then we will promote it on social media. And hopefully these messages will help longtime pets find, or longtime residents of the shelter find their forever homes. And then all donations in partnership with that will go toward these animals.
Oh, okay. So I have to ask because I could never just choose one resident to send a Valentine to. Can I send a couple?
You can send as many as you want.
Okay, well, brace yourself because there's a lot of love for those furry animals. How can people help, Alex?
One of the biggest ways that people can help shelter pets is by adopting through our organization, or becoming a foster parent, where you can be a temporary home for those animals that maybe aren't thriving in the shelter environment or are too young to be here and need round the clock care, like bottle feeding kittens. So those two ways are great ways to support. Also, being a monthly donor. We call them Friends of the Shelter, and with a small monthly donation, which you can go on our website and sign up for, you can help so many pets and people care for their pets through that monthly donation by being a friend.
Alex, you are meant for this position. So my only sadness is that I won't get to see you at least as often. But I'm going to encourage you to wrestle the reins away from Craig occasionally, so we get to see your vibrancy more than often here at City Line. Alex, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much, Amanda. And hopefully next time I'll have a furry friend with me.
It's a date. Well, that wraps up another great segment of City Line. It is always a pleasure and a privilege to zoom into your house from my kitchen. And we've given you some really great things to think about in this past hour, things that you can virtually be a part of. We continue to shelter in place. So as always, please wear your mask, keep yourself socially distant, keep your gatherings small, wash your hands, and please check in with those you love. And when you come back, as always, we'll be waiting for you right here at City Line. Take care.
Tacoma, that's my home. Place I call my own. Tacoma, that's my home. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. Oh, you're from Seattle. Oh, you're from LA. Oh, you're from Chicago. But Tacoma's where you'll stay. Oh, you're from Seattle. Oh, you're from LA. Oh, you're from Chicago. But Tacoma's where you'll stay. Yeah, Tacoma, that's my home. From the fine